Good morning. I just caught myself. I rescued myself from spiraling. I let myself spiral. I'm just going to back up. I'm heading home um, in, literally like 7 days for a month. And this is the first time I'm heading back to LA where I don't have to hide. I don't have to pretend um, that I don't have to. Yeah, I don't have to hide how I'm living. Last year when I went home, I did hide, and then during that trip, I ended up telling the truth, and I spoke about it a lot before. But now there's this additional layer of vulnerability because I have now opened up, asked my dad for help, received his help, and now there's this fear. The story is he's going to now have access, or the fear is he's going to try and tell me, you have to go get a job and you better, like, it's just going to give him more ammunition to use against me. That's what the story says, right? So I wake up and I have this like heaviness, and then the mind is just, you can't stop it, right? It's just spinning all of these scenarios, and you're in a conversation, an imaginary conversation with whoever it is, and it feels so real. So then I start to get really activated and upset, and there's these thoughts that swing back going, oh my God, like, it's been this long and I haven't been able to shift the 3D reality, and maybe it'll never shift, and what am I doing? And it goes into the whole spiral. And so what have I known? What have I learned is you have to let it, and you have to surrender to it. And by surrendering to it, meaning I have to go all in. Like, there is no way around thinking you're going to bypass the story. The story is so connected to every cell in your body because it's so familiar. It's not about this one circumstance. It's about my whole life feeling like what I'm doing is not enough, and what I'm doing, he'll never understand, and he'll always find holes and that kind of thing. That's the story. What this journey is offering me is to become free from that story. Is to know there's another possibility. Is to know that just because I've built an identity fighting against that story, now I have this opportunity to become free from that story. So I started to journal, just, what's the story? What's the sensation in my body? And it feels like tightness in my stomach. And I had this horrible stomach ache yesterday. It's interesting how it shows up as a physical kind of tightness before it shows up, at least this time, as something is like, what is that? Because, we assume, oh, it's something I ate. It's never that. It's really always about an emotional issue, emotional disharmony. That's what I believe. That's where we have to pay attention to these moments in the body, because it's never the thing we think it is. It's never, oh, this is because I ate X, Y, and Z. Typically, it's usually there's a sensitivity going on, and then maybe we eat the thing, and that's when it is able to manifest. Anyways, so I'm journaling it out, and I got to a place when I finally, I had to cry it out, when I finally heard, oh, right, this is just another story that has been so practiced, that has been so deeply embedded into the identity. And I have this beautiful moment now where I can see it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can see that it's just a story. I don't have to buy into it. And I understand that it's going to keep showing up. And I understand Because all this time, this past week, the mind is trying to prepare me to get defense, to like be on defense, to be on guard, because I'm heading home. And now everybody knows. Now everybody knows. And who knows what my extended family thinks? I don't know, but everybody knows the truth. So like, what am I going into? So the mind and the body is just like, we got to prepare. We got to think of every single, argument. We got to, and I'm just like, what if we don't do that? What if we just show up being human and just telling people, like, if they ask, like, I'm doing the best that I can. This is my experiment with life. And just try not to get into the whole defending. And I'm not saying I'm going to be successful at it, because that's way too much pressure. But my point in sharing this is that I caught it. And it's just about, we keep catching it, right? And I even caught yesterday when I didn't quite understand, like I was really tired, my stomach was hurting. And I just thought, the mind is always quick to go, well, how do we get rid of this? Like, go take an Alka-Seltzer, go take a walk, go do this, go do that. And I was like, I'm not going to do anything. Like, I'm just going to be here. And by being here, that's all that's really being asked of us, is to be in the moment, in the presence of whatever it is we're feeling and we're moving through. And it's really hard. I journaled, like, there's going to be these moments where we're rubbing up against an old wound. It's not even an old wound. I want to say it's an active wound, but it's just been practiced for so long. And it's those moments that are so important for us to remember, oh, right, this is here for me, to see the story, to see how much pain, because the truth is, like, nothing's happening. But in my mind and in my body, it's re-traumatized. It's being reactivated and getting me so emotional, because it's so real. Because what did I do? I became vulnerable. For one of the first times in my life with my father, I opened up to him and I said, I need your help. And there's so many layers around that. And that's why I said it's not a one and done. It's not like, oh, I asked, I received, we're good, I'm good, yeah. It's a practice, it's a process of understanding in what ways does that keep showing up? In what ways does that guard just want to keep, like, no. Like, I know I did it once, but I'm not going to do it again. Like, there's all these tricks that happen. And when you're vulnerable, a couple things happen. You are more exposed. You are more exposed to the judgment, to the, I don't know, the hurt, all of that. But know that that is how we enter through the hurt, through the pain, is how we enter into a new possibility. So it's never to shut down and become defensive, even though I'm sure that's going to happen. It's the moments to break us open fully, which I made a video about this. It is meant to break us open, because that's how we move through another layer, another guard, another wall into more of who we really are, which just feels like I was thinking about this, it feels like more of me gets to be seen. More of me gets to shine. More of me gets to connect with my Father on a level that I would never let him into, which is the part of me that gets scared. As an adult, and maybe even as a child, it takes so much energy to put on a face and put on a front, which is what I've been doing. every time I go back home or I'm on the phone with them. Like, I just so used to doing that, and it takes so much energy. And for the first time, I mean, I don't know if it's the first time, but I'm teaching myself not to do that. And in doing that, it's really uncomfortable, clearly. But I know that's the gold. That's why I entered and said yes to this journey. That's why I continue to say yes to the hard things that show up. It's so I can be fully seen. So I can be fully me. So I'll let you know how it goes. Take care, everyone.